Okay, everybody, we are back. We did have that issue, of course, on the start, so yeah, we unfortunately had that little issue with the last lobby, but we're getting that sorted now. We're back in another one. We'll have to wait and see. We may get some reserve drivers joining in, as we do have a spot, I think, available. We've got Steinmine there being a little bit impatient, with the ready up button. But that's what we want to see. We want to see that energy. Come on, Steinmine. Let's have some energy in that race. Let's see if you can try and challenge Rene at the front, because we need it for the good of the league. We want some good competition here. Yeah, we got a spot, I think, so far available. Although terrible. And here we go. We've got Cam Cam joining. Cam Cam 5252, a great driver, of course. Cam Cam, who is he's going to be filling in, I think, for somebody who had to leave. I'm not 100% sure if Zandvoort will be here as well. I think he said, yeah, he is here. I'm not sure if he will make it to the end, though, as he does have, I think, another commitment that, of course, wouldn't usually come into play, but we do have that delayed start. I've just got Rusty Oil Can helping me out a little bit with the audio. Is it okay now? So apparently we've got a little bit of echoing going on through the mic, so we'll just try and get that sorted out for you guys before we start. But yeah, I've got a big upgrade of casting equipment for this league coming next weekend, so don't think this will ever be an issue again. But yeah, much better. Okay, it was just a little tweak of the audio settings to fix that one, so that's fantastic. Yeah, thanks a lot, Rusty Oil Can. Appreciate the help there with that one, mate. Yeah, here we go. We're all ready and up now. Steinmine, I'm sure, is glad to see it. Of course, he wants to do. Looked like he wanted to ready up about 10 minutes ago, but yeah, finally got this issue sorted. Hopefully, it won't recur in the lobby this time around. I think we've got a little contingent of watchers that are rooting for Tone, giving him that encouragement. He is going to be starting, of course, quite far back, so we'll see if Tone can really show his class and pull off a great finish here. He should definitely be looking at getting into the points at least. But we'll wait and see. I mean, there's plenty of opportunity around here. Maybe not to overtake on track, but to overtake through strategy or through other drivers making mistakes and you keeping it clean. So it's going to be very exciting to see. I'm really excited for this race. Yeah, I can't wait to watch it. Can't wait to commentate for you guys at home watching as well. I'm sure it'll be an absolutely fantastic one, as it always is here in PRL. And here we go, so the all too familiar sight of the pit lane. Drivers, of course, having to sort out their strategies. They need to remember to put their setups on the car. Of course, they're in a new lobby. That would be disastrous. Trying to drive around, especially this track. It's so technical without a setup. So let's see. Hopefully, no one forgets that. That would be, yeah, that would be a bit of a nightmare. We've got Kadir reminding everybody. So we'll see. Hopefully, everybody in the top 10 will be starting on the soft tyres as they are required to by the rules. Hopefully, they wouldn't be accidentally choosing the wrong tyre compound. I don't think anybody in here would purposefully try and cheat for an advantage. But if they just forget, if they slip their mind, if they press the wrong strategy, it can happen, and I'm sure the league would penalise that. And here we go for our second formation lap of the day, and there we go. We've got the strategies looking a little bit different now, because of course they don't have that wear from qualifying. That's going to make a difference. Might add a little bit more unpredictability to the race, I'm not sure, but it means that one stop is certainly plausible on the medium tyre compound to the hard tyre compound, much more than it was earlier on, at least apparently, according to the AWS graphics. I'm not sure exactly if that's true, but it's definitely going to be a plausible strategy, although I don't know if it'll be the fastest one. But of course, track position around here is incredibly important. This is the only real overtaking spot, which is where we see the drivers coming through now, is this left-hander at the end of the straight. The pit finish straight is also another option for trying to get an overtake done, although it is much more difficult because that straight is not too long. But if you are managing to follow closely, you need quite a good advantage though over the car ahead. If you do want to make a pass through there, you have got to follow really closely through a high-speed corner, which of course we know in these cars is never easy with the downforce they generate. And look, Steinmein again driving the formation lap in P2. I'm not sure 100% why. I mean, he's not going to get penalised for it because he will just be able to give the position back on the pit straight. But yeah, that's odd. The second formation lap in a row that Steinmein's done that. I'm not sure if he's trying to play some mind games with Stein's app. I'm not 100% on that one. But don't think Stein's pardon me. I don't think Stein's app will be paying much attention to that one. He'll be focused on his own race. The Renault driver, of course, splitting the two Haas cars at the front of the field today. As I'm aware, yet the stream, yeah, okay. Just checking something out on the streaming side of things. Yeah, let's see. Hopefully we get a really good race here today. I'm sure we will, because Singapore never fails to disappoint in league racing, just because of how chaotic it's going to be. And I mean, we've got a fantastic calibre of drivers, absolutely fantastic calibre of drivers here. But everybody does make mistakes. Even professional esports drivers can make mistakes. So we'll have to see. But yeah, we'll go back and have a look at that. Look at that view. That's the view everybody would have wanted going into the qualifying session. No one ahead, and look, we just have a look at René's dash, and look how hot the front tyres are. He's done a fantastic job warming them up. They're 110 on the front right, if the display is to be believed. So let's see if he can get some good traction. Here we are, we've got everyone revving up. Of course, we've got the terrible cameraman yet again. We'll have a look at the lights. Hopefully they don't glitch again. That would be an absolute disaster, and very poor reflection on Codemasters if that were the case. Let's hope it isn't. We see again the AWS graphic here for the race, saying a one stop for mediums to hards as possible, but also a 2-stop from softs to mediums to hards is also possible depending on what your tyre wear is. We may see maybe drivers trying to use the softs, the mediums and the softs again, or the soft, the medium. We'll have to wait and see, and I'm sure broken front wings will come into play with that one as well. Oh, and here we go, guys. 5 red lights. Okay, that scared me for a second there, but we have lights out. Lights out, and away we go. We'll see. Rene, I think, has gotten away pretty well, but that looks like a good start from Steinmeier behind him as well. Steinzap has... Oh, it wasn't a good start for him because Steinzap's got him. They may have made a little bit of contact there in the back. Steinzap in P2. Rene leading away in P1. Weisscheng as well. Maybe looking to make the move on Steinmeier, who's falling back here a little bit. He's going to try and hang it around the outside. He can't make that move there, but he's got to put himself into the slipstream now. On the run down this straight, will he be able to maybe make a dive to the inside? It looks like Steinmeier's just got a little bit more straight line speed than him. Steinmeier, I'm sure, probably using the ERS mode there, but they've all gotten away pretty cleanly. Zandvoort, I think, has had an issue, though. At the back, I'm not sure if he's got a little bit of damage, but he's been swallowed up a little bit by the pack. We've got drivers side by side behind, T. Darson and Hugh Barley, and then behind them is Terrible and Tone fighting each other. Cam there in P19 as well on the racing point, just finding his way past Frosty in the Ferrari. We see the predicted pit stop strategies again. They've swapped around there, but they're the same strategies from before. Terrible runs a little bit wide. Tone manages to keep that position on the inside there. So Tone in P17 now. He's having a look on the outside. There's a little bit of front wing flying there. There was carbon fibre there, and that's a big crash. That's a big crash there. That's Kadia. And it looked to me on my screen that Tone managed to sneak underneath Kadia there. He had a massive incident there, but Rene is leading the way right now. We've got a virtual safety car deployed though, as you can see from the boards on the on either side of the track. We'll bring up the track map for you guys as well, so you can see we've got a full course yellow. But yeah, it was a little bit of craziness at the start, just like we would have expected here. We'll see if we got anybody coming into the pits. Yeah, we do. We've got quite a few people coming into the pits. JC's picked up a drive-through for speeding on the safety car, as has Young Ants, which is just not great news. We do not want to really be seeing that. We want to see the drivers having their positions decided out on track, not from penalties. But we'll see if... see if he can serve that at some point. I don't think he can do it under the VSC, can JC and Young Ants, but hope they can serve it at some point. It looks like that's a bit of wing damage. Yeah, that is a bit of wing damage there for J4C and for Young Ants as well. Both of them missing end plates on the front wing. It looks like Young Ants has got it ever so slightly more severely than J4C, but not ideal for either of them. We'll just have a little run through the top drivers then. We'll have a look first at Rene. He does not have any damage as he's leading the way there. Singapore. A little bit of a lock-up there from Steinzap. That won't be great for his tyres. But he doesn't have any damage either. Neither does Steinmeier. I don't think Weisscheng did either. No, he does not. So looking at the top group of drivers, managed to get away pretty cleanly there without much issue. Iconex as well. And then we've got, of course, these two drivers here, JC and Young Ants with damage. T. Darcy looking okay. Terrible as well. Cam just behind him. And what a start that is from Cam. The Californian in the Pink Panther, already from P20, I think he started up to P11, jumping in last minute as well. He didn't even get the practice, didn't even get the qualifying session that the rest of the drivers got. But look at this. This is Kadia who's gone off at the. I pointed that braking zone out in qualifying as one of the more difficult ones because you've got to commit early to whether you're going to turn in or whether you're going to take the escape road. And it looks like Kadia managed early enough to just say, I'm going for the escape road, and he's gotten away without any damage. But we have got a restart now from the VSC. That is the VSC is ending, and look how close all these drivers are here now. Everybody, Tone, Haytite, we've got Zandvoort as well, KDSX, Hugh Barley in there as well. We've got a few really fast drivers all in the mix here. We'll stay with Tone because he's going to be looking to make a pass here on Haytite Gamer. We'll ride on board with him. He's using his overtake button. He's going to look possibly to the inside. He's got more grip on that tyre compound. He is going to dart it to the inside. He's going to cut off the outside there from Haytite and keep that and take that position. And look, Zandvoort has managed to sneak his way past as well. Not great by Haytite. It looks like he got put a little bit offline by Tone, but he's managed to, yeah, he's lost 2 positions there. He's managed to not make any further mistakes. He's kept ahead of Hubali at least, who's fallen back a little bit with KDSX as well. But KDSX is under pressure here as well. I think he's going to be just far enough ahead. Yeah, he can't quite, there's not quite the opportunity for the move there. But look at that there ahead. That's Haytite and Zambor and Tone. All taking different lines to each other, trying to look, is anybody going to make a lock-up? Is anyone going to get a bit of oversteer? Is there going to be an opportunity for me to dive it past my rivals here around Marina Bay Circuit? See, for now, I don't think there's going to be a chance, though, as we get into the really tight parts of the track where there's just not much overtaking that's going to be possible. Rene setting the fastest lap of the race. He looks like he's going to be getting away out front. We'll bring up the interval timing gaps and we'll see. Rene already has a 3-second advantage. We'll jump up though because look, Young Nance and JC, I think they've both come into the pits. No, they haven't. JC has come into the pits. Young Nance has continued on with that wing damage. That's not going to be great for him, but we're going to ride on board as well with Calion in P4. He's got his eyes firmly set on P3. He wants a podium here today in that McLaren. He's up behind Weisheng. He's in the slipstream. He's got to be a little bit too far back right now, but let's see, because if he does have that pace differential over Weisheng, he will be able to have a look at making a move and squeezing past. And I think we've got Steinmein as well. Yep, Steinmein coming into the pits. He needs a new front wing on that Haas car. Not great for him. He did start up in P3, so yeah, getting a new front wing is not what he wants to be doing on lap 4 of this race. So yeah, he's going to have to do a bit of a comeback drive. We have a look down the leaderboard as well. We'll see Tone is in 14th place. He's 2 seconds behind T-Widow. But look at Cam in P9. We would go to him right now, but Kalibob is going down the inside of Weisheng. Cam teammate. Kalibob with a little bit of a lock-up. They're going to be side by side now, though, going and then into the right. Still too wide, and Tone has forced his way past and got that position there. Great overtaking there by Tone. Lovely bit of battling, and we'll see. Look at this start by Cam. He has not had the practice that is qualifying, which the other drivers have had. They've been able to set a few lap times before, and Cam has literally gotten out of bed and jumped straight into the car this morning. For him, of course, evening for some of the other drivers, but for Cam, this is bright early morning. He's had his toast. He's had his porridge. It's Cam 2.0. He's gone from P20 to P9. Only half a second behind T Darcy now. He runs a little bit wide there. He won't do that too many times because he could pick up a penalty, but that's an absolutely fantastic start. And we see JC just there by T-Widow. We didn't quite get to see it, but JC is running with wing damage, and I thought he came into the pits earlier on. So maybe he's picked up even more damage. We'll see. Does he pit again? He does pit again as he gets passed there by Zambor around the outside. Oh, and this has not been a great time for JC. He needs a safety car, I think. But we'll have a look through the fields. Young Nance has still got a penalty. I'm not sure if that is the drive-through from earlier on. There's no way to quite see that on the game, I don't think. But we can actually go through detail. We can go to penalties and have a look. It's a 5-second time penalty for Young Nance. So it's not the end of the world. He has got a nice gap behind him as well. So let's see, but we'll run with the interval timing for now on. It just lets you get a better grasp of where all the drivers are in relation to each other. We've got Cam only 0.3 of a second behind T Darcy. He's hooked up really closely behind him here as they go down now onto this DRS straight. But T Darcy, he's got the DRS on the car ahead, which is going to be terrible F1, so he's going to be able to use that to defend. I think we've got a Red Bull there in Sector 1 who's had a bit of an issue. I hope that's not Jay. It is Jay. And I really don't want to look and see any wing damage, and I don't see any wing damage, luckily for Jay, as T Darcy picks up a 3-second time penalty. Jay just trying to get those hard tyres warmed up. Maybe he just can't quite feel the grip in them just yet. And yeah, it's calmed down a little bit, but we still have T Darcy under threat from Cam behind him. Cam really keeping T Darcy honest and pressuring him, and we've got some overtaking going on, I think, in the midfield as well, the lower midfield. We've got Tone getting past Haytite, and Zambor has left the session, so there is Zambor. Don't think he got any damage. I think he just had to leave because we started a little bit late, so I'm not 100% sure. But Cam's gotten past T Darcy down the pit straight. There's so much action going on that it's nigh on impossible to not miss any of the action because there's just so damn much of it. But Cam, he's now up to P8 and he's getting straight after Terrible. He's not wasting any time here. Terrible is going to see himself under threat here. really soon from CamCam behind him. The Racing Point driver has had an absolutely incredible start. We see some yellow flags. I think that might be Tone. Is that Tone? Yes, that is Tone. Tone is off and Tone is retired from this race. That's massive for the championship. Tone, one of the top drivers here, has just pulled over to the side of the road. He is out of this race. JC sighs a sigh of relief as he realises he's not going to be last. And we'll go back to CamCam in P8. I know it's looking like a bit. It's not looking like PRL right now. It's looking like the CamCam show. As he's already gotten past T Darson, of course, that last lap. And yeah, he's all over Terrible F1. It looks like he has got the pace over him, but as I said earlier on, it can be so difficult, so difficult to make a pass around here. So Young Ants as well. He's really close up behind Iconex, who seems to be struggling for grip. He's not taking the ideal line through there. Getting a little bit of oversteer as well on the exit is Iconex. So Young Ants is definitely going to be able to have a look at him. I'm not sure if Young Ants still had that wing damage though, which, I mean, it'd be surprising if he did. He does. So I'm not sure if Iconex also has damage, because you'd think he'd be able to just disappear away from Young Ants with Young Ants having that damage. As we see, the pit window is open for the 2-stop. Look how much Iconex is struggling there. I'm not sure what exactly is going on with the Williams driver, but he's got the Alfa Romeo behind him with wing damage, who is putting him under all sorts of pressures. We see Weissheng pitting. He's one of the top drivers, of course, in with a chance at the race winner today. But look at this. That's great drive out the corner by Young Ants. He's got his overtake on. He's got the DRS open. He squeezes through the tiniest of gaps on the outside. And he's going to go cleanly past Iconex before they get into the next braking zone. And behind them we see CamCam making the move on Terrible. CamCam is now up to P6. He's going to be called the Master of Singapore, I think, after this race, if he can keep this up, because this is absolutely incredible stuff by CamCam. If you haven't left a like on the stream already, I think just CamCam alone has done enough to justify a like being left, and I think Iconex is going to be easy prey for CamCam with the pace that CamCam has got. Right now, it'd be interesting if we could see maybe if CamCam has the same pace as Rene out front, because CamCam is flying through the field. Rene, of course, now 6 seconds ahead of Sainz. We'd go and have a look at him, but we do have this battle to contend with as well. We'll have a look at Kaliwob as well. He's closely up behind Steinzap now in the podium positions in P3 in that McLaren. And Steinzap is coming into the pit, so he's pulling the trigger, I think, for the 2-stop onto the medium tyre. That could be interesting, but here's CamCam. He's got no way he's going to make a move here. CamCam, go on, round the outside. Oh, what a move! What a move by CamCam. What have I just seen? And look, Iconex, he's spun off, he's hit the wall. That's some damage for him, but wow! What a move by CamCam. I think CamCam can join Rene in tier 0.5, I think, that needs to be created, because this has been absolutely incredible by CamCam. He's only one position off the podium places. He's already gotten out of the DRS range. And then we see Weissheng here as well, and Frosty. They're having a battle. We'll ride on board with Frosty. We'll see, can he try and defend from Weiss? He can't. There's no way of making a move back on Weissheng, and I think Weissheng is going to keep that position. We'll see though, because Frosty will have the drag reduction system enabled, but he's got to be a little bit too far back, I think, just now. But there's so much going on that it's just hard to keep track of. We've got Hugh Barley as well, within a second of T Widow ahead of him, and then just half a second behind him, he's got an Alfa Romeo filling up his wing mirrors. So here we've got a lot of close battles out here today, and this, you've got to remember as well what this is going to be doing for the tyres of the drivers out there. If you're trying to follow a car, just like Steinzap is following Frosty here, Steinzap might have those fresh medium tyres, but they're not going to be fresh for very long. If he has to keep driving in that dirty air, there's going to be a lot of sliding, a lot of temperature building up, and you've got to remember this is a track where temperatures are usually an issue anyway. So we'll see, as he's going to go down the inside. That's a really cheeky move there by Steinzap, but he's made it work. He's got the position. He's up into P8. We'll have a look at the penalties now as well. We've got Young Ants, of course, for that 5-second time penalty from earlier on, but quite a few drivers for 3 seconds. CamCam, who has, of course, been on an absolutely incredible charge, he's got a 3-second time penalty. I'm not sure. He'll probably... I don't think he can actually serve that at the pit stop. I think you can only serve a 5-second time penalty, so that's not great for him. He might lose a few positions, but he's up to P2 now because Rene has come into the pits, our race leader on the mediums. We'll see, can he come out ahead of Terrible and T Darson? He can't come out ahead of Terrible. We'll see if he can fight it back though. And I don't know whether to follow him or to follow CamCam, because there's just so much fighting going on. We'll have another look at CamCam, because I think he's going to be able to maybe have a look at making a move down the inside at this corner. We'll see, can he be late on the brakes? He's going to try it, a Daniel Ricciardo-esque move, and he can't make it work, but Rene has gotten past Terrible in the slipstream as well. That's an easy pass for him. Before they even get to the braking zone, he's passed him. We've got Weisheng, I think that was a little bit out of shape there. He's got T. Dawson behind him, but he's managed to keep that position. I think he was defended now. I don't think he's made the pass, so yeah, Weisheng needs to make sure he doesn't make any mistakes and get put offline, because you can easily fall back into the clutches of that AlphaTauri. Iconix we see as well making some moves up the field, as well as we've got some drivers into the pit lane. Zandvoort running, of course, P19. He's left the session, I do believe, so he will be the AI driving. But look at this, Cam, he's only 2 tenths now behind Young Ants. The driver who started last, Cam, he's got to maybe have a look at making a move on Young Ants through this section. We'll see. He's going to try and keep it close. They do touch. They do make some contact. Cam manages to catch it. That's a good catch, but he's got to watch out for Rene behind him as well. Of course, the Haas driver on those fresh tyres, our net race leader, is looking very punchy. He is, of course, trying to do that 2-stop. We'll see. Cam's probably going to be going for the 1-stop, though. We'll see if that strategy can maybe play into his hands, but he's really fallen back from Young Ants for that mistake. That was not great by Cam. It's not what you want to be doing. Rene is just behind Cam too. We'll see if Cam will try and fight this one. But the last thing Rene wants to be doing is picking up any damage, trying to fight through these drivers who are really, in the grand scheme of things, not up on their level. And Cam gets a little bit of oversteer. He's had a little bit of a moment. The rear end got a little bit booky on that curb, but he manages to catch it and keep going. Cam getting close to the wall there as well. He's gonna have the DRS to defend, but not the ERS. He's in harvest mode, as we see Cam getting passed by Rene. Will Cam dive it back down the inside? He thinks about it, but he backs off. He's trying to be smart. He thinks maybe he can just follow Rene through. He's not got much ERS left. If Rene can fight Young Ants and put Young Ants offline, then maybe Cam can sweep through and take a position or two. He's just trying to be smart here. He's only gotten to P3 by being smart from last place, so he'll be wanting to keep that on as Rene makes the move down the inside of Young Ants as well at a difficult place, but he's gotten the move done. He's made it stick. And now we'll see, will Young Ants hold Cam up for much longer, because Rene is just going to disappear into the distance. Of course, Rene is going to be on that 2-stop though, I believe, so going to be interesting to see how the strategies play out, because of course Cam looks to be on a 1-stop as long as he doesn't get any damage. So we will see if the 1-stop or the 2-stop is king around here. But Weisheng right behind his teammate as well. He has a little look to the inside, and look at this little fight here. There's a few gaggles of cars, and Cam might look to go to the inside of Young Ants. He's just going to keep himself in there. Young Ants manages to keep it away from the wall, which is really difficult when you're too wide through there. But Cam maybe has a look at doing the switchback, and Weisheng has to brake a little bit early, and he gets caught on the curb. He gets a little bit of oversteer there. That's not great for him. He's fallen back from Cam a little bit now. But look, Cam is essentially pushing Young Ants through this corner. He's going to have the DRS and the ERS turned on. He needs to watch that ERS though, because he's not going to have much to defend down the straight, and he gets past Young Ants down the inside. Great move there, but Cam might struggle a little bit with his DRS though. And here we see Weisheng as well. He's going to be trying to get past Young Ants. We'll see who gets the DRS. I think it might be Young Ants. Could be worth doing a little wily old Fox Fernando Alonso move to try and get yourself the DRS there, but they're both going to get it anyway from Cam because of how close he is ahead of them. Weisheng going to look to go down the inside there on Young Ants, the McLaren, the Racing Point driver, sorry, against the Alfa Romeo driver, and Young Ants has got no answer there to Weisheng as he goes down the inside. And this is looking like a great little race for Racing Point in the constructors. And we have a little look down the field. We've seen Kadir has just gotten past Steinmein. I think Steinmein is into the pits. He's getting another front wing put on that Haas car, so he's really falling down the order. He's possibly going to fall behind J4C. I think he'll be ahead of KDSX, but he's going to be behind J. And no, he's not even out ahead of KDSX. So a recovery drive is definitely on the cards for Steinmein. That's going to be the only thing he's going to be able to do here, because yeah, he's I wouldn't say he's ruined his race, because we never write anybody off, but he certainly compromised it. And then we've got Cam there, we just saw tap the wall. He hasn't got any visible damage, although there may be a little bit of damage to the underside of the wing that we can't quite see. That might make him lose a little bit of downforce, but his teammate is faster than him behind him. Only 4 tenths behind is Weisheng now, so he's going to have the DRS against Cam. And of course, we saw before Cam really lacking in ERS deployment, so he may be a sitting duck on the next straight. As we see, Hugh Barley has picked up a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings on track limits. I think we've got to crash that, and I think it's the Renault driver of Hugh Barley. Yes, it is. and he has hit the wall. Like I was saying before, he clearly didn't commit to the escape road early enough, and that's no front wing down that Renault. Oh no, that's horrendous for him, as we see Kalirob coming into the pits as well for a new front wing. And yeah, we've got full course caution here. Is this a safety car that's been deployed? Have a look. We'll ride on board with CamCam. We'll see if we can see any of the marker boards. I didn't quite see it flash up on the left hand side, so much was going on. It's a virtual safety car, perhaps so the marshals can clear that Renault front wing out of the way. But Kadir now up into P10 as we've got a few people in the pits making use of that VSC. Maybe if CamCam was a bit closer to the pits when that VSC had come out, he may have pulled the trigger and decided to box, but alas, he has not chosen to do that just yet. So he's still on those medium tyres that he started on. He's got his teammate right behind him. CamCam getting a little bit of respite though. He's going to be trying to charge his ERS up because he knows Weisheng can't attack him here. There's his teammate behind you, he looks a little bit punchier. We've also got a close little fight that might emerge here. We've got Kadir just behind Kalirob on the fringes of the points. Kalirob just getting that new front wing. He's come out in P9, so and we're going green, and look at that straight away. Haytite has wasted no time in getting past Icanex straight down the inside as soon as we went green, and Icanex goes really tight to the inside there over the curb, and he may lose a position here. He's run out wide, and that's a fantastic switch back there. Icanex has lost another position. He's down to P13. We'll see if he can fight it back. We've got J4C who's just lost a position as well. He's got damage on the front left of his wing. He's getting out of the way, everyone. Oh, and on the front of his wing, on the right hand side of his wing as well, sorry. Not as severe as on the other side, but we see Steinzap, I think, has just gotten past CamCam because CamCam's come into the pits for his pit stop. Do we see the hard tyres going on? Yes, we do. So CamCam is going to try and take those hard tyres all the way to the end of this Grand Prix. We will have a little look at the gap to the leader, and we'll see really quick if anybody is actually within Rene's pit window. I think a few drivers may be. You see CamCam is 30 seconds behind, so he is not within Rene's pit window. If he can make up 10 seconds, 14, probably about 14 or so seconds, maybe he could be within the pit window of Rene and really threaten him. But right now it's only going to be Steinzap and Weiss that are going to be in his pit window, and they're on the same strategy, I do believe. But yeah, because Steinzap is on those mediums and so is Weisheng, and those mediums are not going to go to the end. So they're all going to have to stop again. Now T-Widow, I think, is also going to have to stop again. CamCam will not. So CamCam right now is looking like he could possibly, if he has the pace, if he can put some good laps in now, he could maybe even jump Steinzap. Could you imagine if he managed to get himself on the podium after starting from P20, called in to jump into that seat just minutes before we have lights out? And we're going to have to call him Nico Hulkenberg from now on, I think. CamCam Hulkenberg, because this is a fantastic last minute drive, stepping in, and he's already catching up to T-Widow ahead of him, who has the 3 second time penalty, as does CamCam. Rene with a 3 second time penalty as well. I've only just noticed that, I do apologise. 3 second time penalty there for Rene, so I don't know if that's really going to threaten him, because he looks just to have supreme pace here. I don't think there's going to be anybody within 3 seconds of him at the end of this race, maybe not even 30 seconds with the way that he's driving. But we watch Rene, he's already coming up, I think, to lap some of the cars. I think he's coming up to the back of, maybe it's Jay? I think it's going to be Jay, yeah, that he's coming up to the back of, who's already a lap down. So, no, it won't be Jay, sorry, I beg your pardon. It will be Zandvoort. I think that he's coming up to the back of Zandvoort's AI, which of course will ghost and get out of the way. We've got T-Widow coming into the pits as well. He's on the hard tyres, so he's going to the end from now on. He's losing a few positions though. He's now dropped out of the points. We'll see how far he can carve himself into the points from now on, because if he can keep it clean, he won't be stopping again. T-Widow has also lost a position there to KDSX as well, so yeah, he's got he's only 3 points, 3 positions away from the points, so he should easily make that up. We'll just have to wait and see how far into the race he can actually, how far into the points playing position, sorry, that he can get. But yeah, Steinzap will run you through the order. Sorry, so we've got Rene in P1 here, the Haas driver, looking absolutely supreme. He's carried over his qualifying pace into race pace, and he's just dominating so far. Weisheng, the first racing point here today. and he's in P2. We've got Steinzap leading away for Renault as well in P3. Cam Weisheng's teammate in P4. A double podium certainly is on the cards for the Racing Point team if they can keep this pace up. Terrible F1 then is the next car. He's the lead Mercedes. He's in P5. Then he's going to be followed by Calibob, who does have that 3-second time penalty. And I've just noticed Cam has picked up another penalty, so he's up to 6 seconds of penalties now. See behind we've got T. Darson followed closely by Kadir. The two AlphaTauri drivers looking very equal on pace. Looks like Kadir has got the softer tyre compound though. We'll actually ride on board with him because we could see Kadir maybe trying to make a move on his teammate. We'll see he's opened up the corner there. He's gone wide and we've got a yellow flag in sector 2. That's a Haas car. And we'll check, is it the leader? I don't think, no, it's not the leader. It's going to be Steinmein, I think, who may have made a little mistake there, but the that's been cleared. We'll go back to this this fight with the AlphaTauri drivers then because look at that. We've got Kadir right up behind T. Darson. He's got to move to the inside. He's got to be passed. They're going to be going side by side, I think, into the braking zone. That's really aggressive there by Kadir to move over to the right-hand side. Really squeezing his teammate there. Showing his teammate no quarter there as he gets past him up into P7. But a decent race for the AlphaTauris. If they can keep it like this, they'll be taking home a good amount of points. P7 and P8 is a solid finish, although it's not quite as glorious as maybe they would want. We've seen Young Nance has got a decent bit of pace, even with the damaged front wing that he was running, and he may still be running now. No, he's got his wing replaced now, so yeah, he had great pace earlier on, even with wing damage, so we'll see how he can do without the wing damage. He's in P9, he's going to be trying to make up some positions, and then we've got Haytite behind, the lead Ferrari. Not a great race for Ferrari, but Haytite is in the points, P10. He's got 6 seconds worth of penalties though, and yeah, then we've that's our top 10 for you folks. Now this is the part of the race, maybe it's a little bit later than I usually do it, but we're going to do it now anyway, guys. We're going to have a look at who are the biggest winners and losers of this race so far. So as I mentioned, I think a fair few times, Cam is the biggest winner so far, up 16 positions from P20 to P4. As we see, I think that was Calibob making a move on Terrible F1. Yes, it was. Calibob has elevated that McLaren up into P5. He's gained 1 position from the start, from where he started in P6. But yeah, Cam the biggest winner so far. He's up 16 positions. Weisheng is up 2 as well. He's doing well. Terrible F1 is doing a fantastic job as well. He's up 9 positions from where he started. T. Darcy up 6 and Young Ant up 8. He's shown some really great pace so far in this race. We've got Hibali in P14. He's still lower than perhaps where he is based just on pace, but he did start way out towards the back of the field, so he's done well. He's gained 5 positions. Now, who are the biggest losers? Well, you can't look past Steinmein really. He's lost 12 positions from the start, and yeah, perhaps that's going to be evened out when the 2 stoppers make their second pit stops, of course. But yeah, it's not looked like a great race from Steinmein so far. Down in P15, not where he would have wanted to be when he was lining up on the grid earlier on. Iconix is also down 10 places to P17. He's also on the 1 stop, so he's looking like he may gain a few positions from pit stops, but not too many, because he doesn't really have many drivers ahead of him. We'll have a look at where Frosty is, because he's not really coming up on the he's not showing up between Iconix and Steinmein, but that's because Iconix is so far behind he's been lapped. So this is really a race to forget so far for Iconix, as well as for Jay, who has lost 8 positions. I think he's now left, he's now AI, so we can't judge him too harshly. Same goes for Zandvoort. The Red Bull team having an absolutely horrendous race here on the streets of Singapore. But we'll check back in with Rene. He's 10 seconds now in the clear, now 11 seconds. If he keeps going like this, he's going to be pit safe as well. So that means he will be able to pit if he can gain another 9 seconds on Weisheng, sorry. Then he'll actually be able to pit and then still come out in first place, which just shows how fantastic this driver's been from Rene. He's not put a foot wrong, but we do still have 14 laps of this Grand Prix remaining, so a lot of things can happen in 14 laps, especially around this circuit, because a lot has happened in 17 laps around this circuit. And here comes Rene. He's into the pit lane right now, so he's not going to be pit safe. He's going to come out between Steinzap and Cam, I believe, unless either of those top 3 drivers also make a pit stop with Rene. We'll see what tyres he comes onto, but if I had to guess, it would be the... Oh, it's the hards. Yeah, it would be the hards, because I don't think he's been on them yet. He's got a new fresh set of hard boots on that Haas car. He's down to P3 now as well, as Steinzap and Weisheng, of course, get past him in the pits, but he's got a big gap behind him to CamCam, who is in sort of in a bit of a no man's land right now, as we see Kalirob is the guy nearest behind him, only still almost 10 seconds behind as he laps Zandvoort there. So have a look through the field. We've got T. Darcy and Young Ants and Haytite all really close together. Haytite catching a bit of oversteer there. He nearly spins it, but he manages to catch it. It's a nice little catch there by the Ferrari driver, as we see KDSX making a move as well through a really difficult section, and he's backed off there, so I think maybe he thinks that was an unfair move. That's absolutely fantastic sportsmanship there by KDSX. Can we get clapping emojis in the chat there for KDSX? I think he made a move on the Alfa Romeo driver here, and then but deemed that it may have been an unfair move, so he decided that he's going to give that position back. So hats off there to him. We'll have another skip through the field. We've got Kadir just behind Terrible. He's going to be perhaps looking at making a move as well on the Mercedes driver. He's not going to want to be behind Terrible for much longer, because he's going to be burning through those medium tyres. Their temperatures are going to be going through the roof as we see them lapping Zandvoort. We heard a little bit of a crunch there. I'm not sure what that was. I'm not sure if somebody tapped the wall. But it's looking okay for the time being. And we've got Steinzap making a move on Weisheng. I think Weisheng coming into the pit lane. Does that look like a fresh set of medium tyres there the Racing Point crew have their hands on? Yes, it is. He's going to be going on to another set of medium tyres here, Weisheng. So he's going to be coming out quite far behind Rene, but he will be on the faster tyre compound. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to make up that difference though, because that is quite a large gap to the Haas driver ahead. I think this race is going to be Rene's to lose. Yeah, Weisheng 11 seconds back, so it looks to me like it's going to be really difficult for him to actually catch up to Rene, especially with the incredible pace Rene has shown. And you've got to remember as well, those mediums of Weisheng are going to have more grip right now, but when you get to the last sort of 5-6 laps, those hards are going to start coming more towards the delta of the medium tyres as the medium tyres start falling off because of the wear. So that's a big ask of Weisheng if he can try and catch up to Rene. We've got Steinzap as well on the mediums. We'll have a look at how many pit stops everybody has made. And the most anybody has made is 2 so far. No, I tell a lie, it's going to be 3, but most drivers on 2 or 1, so they managed to keep it relatively clean. Much better than I think most leagues would have managed by now, because this is such a demanding circuit. CamCam only 5 seconds as well behind his teammate, but of course he's going to be on the slower tyre compound, so I don't think he's going to be able to make that gap up. But we'll go back to Kadir. We'll ride on board with him a little bit, and we'll see that look how close he is to Terrible. Still, that gap remaining around the same. Looks like Kadir has certainly got the pace to hang on to Terrible, but does he have the pace to make a move? That's the most important question. Big wheel spin there by Kadir, if you managed to hear that then. We'll go back down. We'll have a look at this little fight here. We've got T-Widow, Hubali and Steinmine. A trio of drivers here following each other really closely, and T-Widow just ahead of them as well. I'm not sure if he just made a mistake, because I thought he was a little bit further ahead than he was. So it's T-Widow, Hubali and Steinmine, sorry, that are the trio here. Each driver separated from each other by only half a second, so we could see some attempts at some overtakes. Of course, in Singapore Sector 3, it's going to be pretty impossible to actually be able to make the move, but we're going to actually skip forward to Kadir, because look how small that gap is now. Only 0.2 per second. Kadir's on the outside, which turns to the inside for the next corner, I believe, and he's going to be tucked right up behind Terrible. He doesn't have DRS open for some reason. I thought he would, but he doesn't, so he's got to go down the inside possibly of Terrible. He can't be that Mercedes in a drag race, unfortunately for him. He's going to have to stare at Terrible's rear wing for another few corners at least before he gets another chance to overtake, barring any mistake, of course, from Terrible, who's now up in P6. He's having a great drive so far, but here's a move taking place. We've got Steinmein attacking Kubali. He's going to try and hang it around the outside of the Renault driver who comes back at him. I think they made a little bit of contact. There's a little bit of oversteer there from Kubali. I think maybe he touched his front wheel on the side pod of Steinmein, which unsettled the car a little bit, but he manages to catch that, and Steinmein is up one position there from Kubali. So yeah, great overtaking there from Steinmein. We'll go back and have a look now at Frosty and JC. They're side by side going to the right hander. JC completely cuts off Frosty. Nice aggressive defending moves there, and we have, I think that's another Haas car making a mistake there. Was that Rene? That may have been Rene who made a little bit of a mistake there. I'm not 100% sure. There was a Haas car and there was a yellow flag, and they were around the same place. We'll see. The gap to Weisheng behind 8 seconds, so he's still got a comfortable gap, and it doesn't look like he's got any damage. Now we'll have a look here at 4th and 3rd place, the battle for the bottom podium position. We've got CamCam and Steinzap all very close to each other, but as we say that, Kadir comes into the pits as well. He's going to lose a few positions. We'll see what tyre compound he goes onto shortly, but we'll have a look at the backs. We've got Frosty and JC. They're still really close to each other. We're trying to show you all the battling that goes on here, not just the front guys, of course. We want to cover everybody in this league. But it looks like JC is going to be quite comfortable now from Frosty. We'll see if he can get out of the DRS range. He's already 9/10 of a second ahead. Frosty not looking very confident with the car through those corners. He's on and off the throttle too much. Just not looking like he really knows how to take that corner in this car with the setup. Maybe it's a setup problem, or maybe it's a lack of practice, but he's really struggling with the car, and he's hit the wall twice there in that one sector. He's got big wing damage. He's coming into the pits, and he's missed the pits, and he's managed to cut back across into the pits. He hasn't picked up a penalty for that, but you have to watch out for that sort of thing with strict corner cutting, and I think that's Steinzap getting past CamCam. That is Steinzap getting past CamCam, but CamCam's fought him back, and Steinzap's had a spin there. I'm not sure if that was from contact between the two drivers. I'm sure the stewards may hear about that, but Kalibob is going to find his way past Steinzap as well around the outside, and that is not great for Steinzap. He's dropped back to 5th position. He's now 7 seconds behind CamCam, who has taken that racing point from 20th position to 3rd with only 9 laps remaining, and this would be absolutely incredible if CamCam could manage to do this. And we've got a lapped car, I think that was, coming out of the pits, and immediately looked like he may have been losing the rear end there, but yeah, I think he did. I think that was going to be Frosty who lost. Yeah, he did. He lost the rear end there. Let's hope he didn't get any damage, because he's not been having a great race. We don't want that to be compounded by any little conflicts he may have had with the wall. But now I've got to skip all the way back up the field as well, because look, it's Steinzap going around the outside of Kalibob into the right-hander. Fantastic move there by Steinzap to get past Kalibob. He's yeah, he was determined to not stay behind that McLaren driver for very long after he made his mistake, and now he's going to be chasing after CamCam with a vengeance after that mistake. I don't know if they made any contact or if it was just a mistake from Steinzap. I'm sure we'll hear about it a lot after the race. But yeah, Steinzap, he's got some great pace in that Renault, and he's got to try and catch up to CamCam. Now, if we have a look at the top as well of the field, the gap was over 8 seconds. It's now around 6, so Weiss is certainly catching up to Rene. He's got the AI of Iconex to pass, but it may help him out by giving him a little bit of DRS to help him forge his way after Rene, who is just going into that left-hander. Weiss can see P1 up ahead of him. You can see the Haas driver Rene up in that first position. He wants to be there so badly. You can, just as any driver does, he wants that win, and he's chasing after Rene. He's not giving up. He's got 8 laps remaining though, so it's going to be a tough ask. He's going to have to pull a lot of time out of Rene here. Perhaps Rene's got a little bit of damage, because we did see a yellow flag, and there was a Haas driver around when that yellow flag was waved, so maybe it was Rene who made an uncharacteristic mistake. We can't see any damage on the car, but that's not to say there isn't some minor damage that is not quite visible. But look, Weisheng is taking so much time out of Rene. This could be a really close finish here. He's gained another half a second. There's only 8 laps remaining though, so we've got a little bit of an Alex Albon, Lewis Hamilton situation from the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, where Weiss is on a late charge, but will it be enough, because that gap is quite large, and Steinzap now only 4 seconds behind CamCam, so he's catching him really quickly as well. We're going to have to pay close attention to this though, because Weiss is really on a charge. Hopefully he can keep it clean though, because pushing around Singapore can be very dangerous. It's very easy to make some mistakes. So yeah, let's hope we get a bit of a fight at the end, because Rene has looked absolutely bulletproof in that Haas car. He has not looked like losing P1 for a second. He's led essentially, I think, almost every single lap of this race. So yeah, I'm sure he'd be gutted if he lost P1. But look, that gap has certainly come down so much. Weiss just gained so much time to the third sector. Now only 4 seconds between the two drivers. This has gotten really, really interesting. We'll switch over to the leader timings. That's a good way to see if Rene has damage. We'll see if the other drivers in the field also catch up to him. So we'll have to be looking at Cam, especially Steinzap as well, who is yeah, definitely catching up to him as well. So I think Steinzap's probably the fastest driver out in the field at the moment. But Weisheng as well is putting in some really good times to try and get after Rene. And look how close he was to the wall. You can see how much he's pushing. It's a high risk, high reward strategy for Weisheng to really push. He's now below 4 seconds. If this continues, he's going to catch up to Rene. And I do hope he does, because that will lead to some really interesting laps near to the end of here. But we'll see, because Weisheng has seemed to gain most of his time in the third sector. As we see KDSX into the pits, he's lost a few positions. He's dropped out of the top 10 now. But look, that gap coming down all the time, and I'm getting really excited now. I hope you guys all are too, watching this, because it's now only just under 3.5 seconds, and this is where it looks to me where Weisheng is gaining most of his time as well on Rene. He usually takes half a second out of him through this sector alone. He may be a little bit hampered by Zandvoort there, who is now out of the way of him, but yeah, it looks like maybe he was, because Rene's gained a little bit of time there, but Weiss is gaining back again. He's now 3.5 seconds. 3.5 seconds now to Rene up ahead of him. I'm not sure, perhaps there's a glitch with the timing screens or something, or maybe Rene is just losing that much time. It's hard to tell, because you would not have expected this from Weisheng. And we'll have a look as well at Steinzap. Look how close he is behind Cam. This would be an incredible achievement for Cam if he could start last and manage to keep hold of this podium, but Steinzap is not going to make it easy for him, because he lost, I think, 8 or 9 seconds to Cam, and then he's gained it all back. He's just above a second now to the car ahead. So, but yeah, Weisheng has got some absolutely incredible pace out there. As we see Cam making a little mistake, he's starting to struggle on those hard tyres, it looks like. But we'll go back to this fight. Well, not quite fight, but this chase of Weisheng trying to catch up to Rene. And we see Haytight has come into the pit as well. That's dropped him out of the points, because Steinmeier and T would have gotten past him as well. That gap to Rene has grown a little bit, though. I feel like from when they crossed the start-finish line. 6 laps still remaining, and you've got to remember those mediums are going to start really degrading with how much Weiss is pushing. We'll see if Weiss gains more time. And look, that Steinzap past Cam. Oh, unfortunate for Cam. I mean, it's been a valiant effort from Cam to go from P20 up to P3. It only looked like a matter of time until Steinzap got him past, and you can see how much Cam is struggling. He's just been passed by Jay, who is a lapped car. Cam is really struggling on those hard tyres. He's losing so much time. We'll see if Calirob may even catch him before the end of this race. But if you're trying to think who your driver of the day is, I mean, look no further than Cam, because what a drive he has had. Honestly, one of the best drives I think we've ever seen. Because, I mean, to go from P20 to P4 like he did is absolutely incredible. We'll see where he ends up, and we'll go back to the front, and look, that gap is staying quite stable now, so I feel like perhaps those mediums have just started to degrade a little bit too much now, and those hard tyres are starting to become the faster race tyre between the two of them now, with only 5 laps remaining. We'll see, perhaps Weisheng just made a mistake and lost some time, and that's all it is, but it looks to me, riding on board with him, that he is just lacking a little bit of grip, a little bit of understeer through that chicane. I'm sure he's pushing his absolute heart out, but Rene just was so dominant early on. I think this gap that he's managed to build up is going to be enough to secure him that win. So we'll see that gap has now grown to around 4 seconds, and CamCam is losing so much time. But it looks like Calirob is as well, so see, but you've got to remember as well, I've just remembered as well, that CamCam does have that 6 seconds worth of penalties, so right now he will be ahead of Calirob, because Calirob has 3 seconds of his own, which would mean that he is overall 8 seconds behind CamCam before penalties were applied to CamCam, so CamCam would finish 2 seconds ahead of him if it stayed like this. But look, Weisheng is really pushing, he's getting the oversteer, he's used up his battery, but look, Rene with 6 seconds of time penalties. Rene's got 6 seconds, Weiss only with 3. So if Weiss can gain just over a second on Rene, he will take P1 here. So all eyes on Rene as well, because if Rene makes a mistake, he could kiss that win goodbye. Only 4 laps left and 4 seconds separating the two drivers. We'll see if lap traffic comes into play at all as well, because it could really hold up Rene. Don't know if Rene won't be passing CamCam, I don't think so. CamCam won't be able to do anything for his teammate. Not like he would anyway, because you can't hold up a driver too much when you're getting lapped before it becomes a penalty offence. And look, Weisheng is just dropping completely off the back of Rene now, though. He gave us a bit of thrill, and look, yeah, he's pushing so much, but it's only leading him to it's only causing him to lose even more time as he gets up on those curbs where there's no grip out there. So unfortunate for Weisheng, it looks like he's not going to be able to steal this win away from Rene. Maybe he'd have a chance if he didn't have his own penalty, but unfortunately it looks like the race may well be a procession just for Rene now to drive across the line. I mean, he's done an absolutely fantastic race. Only 4 laps remaining. As we see Young Ants there spinning. That's Young Ants. I think was that Young Ants spinning? He's lost a position in the Terrible F1. There was a car in the background spinning. It may have been a lapped car. But Young Ants has definitely lost a position there to Terrible. We'll see. He doesn't have any wing damage. I'm not sure if it was Young Ants that we saw, or if it was just Terrible being able to make a move. But I think I've got a bit of a commentator's curse with Terrible. It seems every time I commentate a race with Terrible in it, he lives up to his namesake and has a terrible race. But so far he's doing very well in P6. As you see, Iconex is getting past Frosty as well at the back of the field. We'll have a look at the position change. Look at that, he's up 9 positions and waste. It's a Terrible that's had an absolutely fantastic race. I'm sure he'll be very, very happy with that one. We'll keep the penalty graphic up as we see. Pretty much every driver has a penalty now. CamCam's penalties have grown to 9 seconds though, so that means he's gonna lose that position, I think, to Calirob. I don't see him being able to keep that from Calirob now, unless Calirob gets himself some more penalties, because CamCam just does not have the pace in the car. Those tyres have really gone off, I feel. So yeah, it's very unfortunate for him. But we'll have a look at Kadir and T Darcin. This teammate battle has raged on all race, and it doesn't look like it's going to end anytime soon. And that looked like Kadir was just backing off a little bit from T Darcin there. I'm not sure if T Darcin maybe turned the engine down. Maybe he wanted Kadir to pass him so that he could then get back past him again on the long straight that is that the drivers are about to turn onto now. But if that is the case, Kadir hasn't fallen for it. He's gotten a great exit on those medium tyres past T Darcin, who's on those hard tyres with the DRS open, and he's turned it back off again. I'm not sure why he's so reluctant to use the DRS. Perhaps he used it to just give a little wave to his teammate as he drove past. But that's P8 there for Kadir. T Darcin being relegated down to P9. It looks like he is getting some understeer as well. He's really struggling. So it looks like the drivers that went for that one-stop strategy, the tyres just don't quite last. They just don't quite make it to the end, unfortunately. Look at the understeer really kicking in for T Darcin. We see it. We've seen it as well for CamCam and Calirob as well. They're really struggling on those hard tyres, I feel, because we've seen how much CamCam is struggling, and that gap to Calirob has stayed pretty much constant. So it's looking like the two-stop was probably the fastest strategy, as long as you're able to make those overtakes. And there have been quite a few here today, more than perhaps you would have anticipated, with it being Singapore, which is of course notoriously difficult to overtake at. So he's managed to they've managed to take those hards to the end. Sorry, stuttering a bit there. But it looks like now they really are going off, and if the race was maybe 1 or 2 laps shorter, that would have been a fantastic strategy, and if it was 1 or 2 laps later, then it could be disastrous. But I think they're going to be okay to bring this to the end. And we're just quickly going to have a look at T Darcin and Steinmein, because they are so close together. Steinmein attacking T. Darcy, the P9 AlphaTauri driver, under serious threat here from the leader's teammate here. Steinmein, he's used up pretty much all of his ERS. He gets a little bit of understeer as well in the dirty air. He's going to have the DRS though and the slipstream. I don't think it's going to be enough. Yeah, it looks like he's just going to be a little bit too far behind. And oh, Steinmein, that was probably not the best move to try and make. He nearly got his wing cut off there by T. Dawson, but we've seen Cam here. Must have made a mistake. He's really struggling with those tyres, unfortunately for him. He's dropped back behind Calirob now. He's also going to drop behind Terrible and Young Ants when those penalties get applied. And look, he just can't keep it on the track. He's really struggling on those tyres, unfortunately for him. But it's been an absolutely valiant effort there by Cam. I'm sure he'll be incredibly proud of himself, because that has been an absolutely fantastic race. It's been an absolutely fantastic race for him. Mind you, he could keep that position ahead of Terrible. Terrible 8.3 behind him now. He's coming into the pits now. Don't know why he would pit on lap 30. He's not even going to be able to go for the fastest lap, because he's going to be coming out of pits on the last lap, will he? I'm not 100% sure. No, I think he may have one more lap after this one. It looks like the fastest lap is what he's going to be going for, though. He's getting a new front wing as well, so he must have had some wing damage. But yeah, Cam's dropped out of the points now, and that drive from him on paper now is looking a little bit less impressive than it really was. So we'll see if he can cap the race off with a fastest lap. I'm sure that would be a great little bit of consolation for him. But we'll go forward and look at this. It's the end of the race, and there's still 5 cars bunched all together on the straight. You can see how competitive this league is. This tier 1, it's so competitive. The drivers are so equal on pace that they can drive 31 laps and still be within a few tenths of a second of each other. It's absolutely fantastic to see. And look at that move! Haytite, what a dive bomb. They've made a bit of contact. Haytite spears off to the left hand side. I think he manages to keep away from the wall, and he's going to keep it down the inside of T. Widow. He's going to gain the position there on the Mercedes driver. KDSX might have a little look in as well. We've got some yellow flags as well, but they've disappeared. That may have been from this fight, but yeah, this is absolutely fantastic. Look, T. Widow locking up there. KDSX nearly goes into the back of him, but manages to get that Williams slowed down quickly enough. Haytite as well, close behind Steinmein, who still hasn't managed to find a way past T. Darson. As we see, Rene has started the last lap of this race, and look, he's in Sector 2 now. There's only one sector after this, and he can claim the win. He needs only 3 seconds buffer from Weisheng. So he's got that 6 second time penalty, but Weisheng has 3 seconds. So unless he makes a big mistake and loses just over 7 seconds, it looks like this is going to be Rene's race. And I want to catch him crossing the finish line, but I also want to catch this little fight here. It's T. Darson and Steinmein cross the line, and they are still racing each other, remember guys, because they haven't, I don't think, been lapped. And look at that, Haytite trying to make a move on Steinmein. He's trying to go down the inside here. They're side by side. As we see, look, there's just such a gaggle of cars. And I want to cut away. I want to see Rene cross the line to take the win. As he's crossing the line right now, we'll skip forward. We'll see the fireworks go off as Rene takes that win. But we won't stay with him for long. We'll go shooting straight back to this fight, because that's 6 cars all around each other, all within a few tenths of a second. KDSX, the rear end, getting a little bit booky there. He doesn't want to. He wants to try and keep that in check. He doesn't want to lose the rear end on the last lap. That wouldn't be very good. But look at this, it's all a fight for 1 or 2 points here. Haytite just behind T. Darcy now. I think he's going to be able to come home for P8. But look, there's some fighting going on. Cam has made his way past T. Widow, who's made a mistake. I think he's hit the wall. He's got some damage, I think, on the left-hand side of his front wing. And that is just not what you want to see. On the last lap of the race, T. Widow has made a mistake and dropped himself way out of the points. Cam is in P12 as we hear the fireworks going off in the background, but Cam's got some damage. Maybe he made a little bit of contact with T. Widow. Not 100% sure, but that means he's probably not going to be able to get the fastest lap, unfortunately, which he was gunning for. We'll have a little look now as well on the fastest lap. Here, the fastest lap is actually with P15, a 1:36.9, so there's not going to be points given out for that. But we'll go back to the interval timing as we see these cars are all about to cross the line now. T. Darson is going to lead these guys through, I think. And T. Darson is going to take P8, which must feel like a victory with the fighting that's been going on behind him. Haytite going to take the last points playing position. Steinmeier and Cam as well as KDSX coming home behind them. But I think KDSX gained some positions there because of penalties as well. So I'm not 100% sure what the finishing positions were at the top 10. But oh my goodness me, I'm not going to be able to talk for a week. So it's a good job. We've got 7 days till the next race, because that was an absolutely fantastic race here. I hope everybody enjoyed it as much as I did, because I don't think I breathed for the last God knows how long. There we see the podium. Rene celebrating with a nice little dance. Weishen coming home in P2, and I think it was Steinzap in P3 for the Renault team. And what a race that was. Singapore, of course, as well as PRL, they never fail to disappoint. They never fail to impress. They always fail to disappoint. They never fail to disappoint. God, that shows you how long a race it's been. Goodness me. But we'll run you through the grid order, the final order for the drivers as it just loads in. We've got Rene taking P1. Weisheng behind him in P2. He's had a good drive from P4 on the grid. Steinzap takes P3. It could have been so much more for Steinzap, but at least he gets a podium at the end of it. We've got Kaliwab in P4. Terrible, an absolutely incredible drive by him. P15 to P5. Fantastic stuff by him. We've got Kadir then in P6 from P5. Solid race on the AlphaTauri driver. A lot of good fighting going on there in that midfield. We've got Jungants P17 to P7. An absolutely brilliant race by Jungants. He's flown under the radar a little bit until the last few laps. T. Darson is going to be in P8 from P14 in the AlphaTauri. A solid race for AlphaTauri in the constructors. They'll take it home a few points. KDSX in P9 in the Williams, and Cam in P10 from P20. He's had a great race as well, rounding off the points paying positions because of all the different penalties given out. The Haytite Gaming and Steinmeier both picking up 15 seconds worth of penalties, I think, from the very end of the race. But goodness me, that was an absolutely fantastic race. I thank everybody for tuning in and joining me for that one. That's been a race that I have thoroughly enjoyed. And yeah, I hope everybody else enjoyed it just as much as I did. We will be back next week as well. Actually, no, I don't think we will be back next week, because it'll be Christmas. I think we're going to be having a weekend's break. So I'll see you when we are back, guys. That was absolutely fantastic race. Thanks a lot for joining us. And until next time, farewell.